Hello and welcome everyone to our 83rd session of Hallocasa. My name is Michael and today I'm talking to Jeszar, Quilatan from the Cavite province in the Philippines. Jeszar, thank you so much for being on the show. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes, hello. First and foremost, I would like to say good morning to all the viewers of Hallocasa. My name is Jeszar, and I am 37 years old, and I am residing here in Cavite, Cavite province of Philippines.
Awesome.
And I am a division manager of Omniland Real Estate Broker Corporation, one of the top leading real estate firm in the Philippines, and we cater all the projects across the country. Wherein all you have to do is just our investors will choose from which location they would like to locate themselves and invest a property in the Philippines.
That sounds very good. Give us a quick overview of, first of all, the province you're in. Cavite province is very close to Manila and is also kind of the gateway for a lot of people to live or to work in Manila, but also then live outside. That's as far as I have conducted my research. Give us an overview of a local expert about the province.
Cavite province is so much interesting to talk about. Cavite province is one of the busiest cities in the southern part of Luzon, one of the biggest archipelago of the Philippines. I would like to say that Cavite is like a Metro Manila or the national capital region, just like Makati and Quezon City. And there are a lot of investors came to this province where they invest especially in a lot of industries like trade and investment, real estate, BPO, or the business process outsourcing. Now, what is interesting about Cavite also, Cavite is very accessible to the cities like Makati City, Manila, and Quezon City, which are the busiest cities where the economy lies of the Philippines. Now, why I am talking about Cavite? There are a lot of properties that we could cater for Cavite, from luxury properties up to mass housing. It depends upon the affordability of the investor or the buyer can afford and buy. What we just do is we gather all the listings that we have in Cavite. We offer it to them the best that we could, and we give them a free access to the inventories so that they could choose which one fits for their preference. And what is also exciting about Cavite, because our President Duterte has a lot of promising projects to put up in Cavite. That's why we are promoting so much Cavite here in the Philippines. And also, some clients that we used to interview, they would like to escape from the stress of the hustle and bustle of the cities of the national capital region. Although Cavite is so much accessible to those places because there are a lot of highways and expressway were open to the public so that they could have an easy access and travel time much closer to their offices, just like a couple of minutes away of travel, just like walking. The speed of their access is so much accessible because of a lot of projects were promised to open in Cavite by the current President Rodrigo Duterte.
Interesting. So that means more or less going from the province to the main capital, the city of Manila. How long does it take, more or less, if I need to travel to Manila?
Before, basically, when they are using the national roads of National Capital Region going to Cavite province, it took around 1.5 hours. It's quite crazy, but the traffic jam is not yet included with that hour. Now, since they opened a lot of roads and accesses to Cavite, like the Cavite Expressway or the Cavitex, then the South Luzon Expressway. Now, the travel time, whether you are using a private transportation or a private vehicle or a public transportation, it takes around a half of an hour.
Wow.
Have you seen the cut of time from 1.5 hour to half an hour or 30 minutes only? it gives them a lot of growth in business
Mm-hmm.
with that time. It saved them a good time.
I understand.
And that is what I am. That's what I always explain to our interested buyers
Mm-hmm.
why they should invest in
Yeah.
Cavite and what is the worth of their money when they invest here. At the same time, sooner or later, or not more than 5 years from now, Cavite would be like Metro Manila. Cavite is now opening a lot of business centers, business districts, even we have a lot of economic zones here that opens with a lot of jobs to offer with different kinds of people depending upon the fit of their capability and capacity to work and contribute that contribution that they could give to the company.
Mm-hmm. I have now interviewed a couple of people from the Philippines, and we have focused. Most of the conversations were focused on Manila, Quezon, Makati City, and you also mentioned the BPO market. For the ones who don't know what that stands for, it's business process outsourcing. So a lot of people, a lot of companies providing back office services, call center for the North American market, but also sometimes for Europe. To be honest, you're the first person mentioning even Cavite to me. I was not aware of this interesting location, and also right now apparently the strong investment focus being pushed forward by Duterte. First question is there a certain incentivization being pushed forward on a municipality and departmental level, or how does that work, that right now you might have Cavite competing a little bit with Makati City when it comes to investments?
Basically, if we will look on the geographical features of Cavite, Cavite is just next to Metro Manila or the National Capital Region. Now, at the south of the National Capital Region, the first province that you will pass by is Cavite. Basically, Cavite is just beside of the southern Luzon, which locates in the West Philippine Sea. Now, if you will take a look at this, there are a lot of promises to Cavite, which they offer. Now, I am not saying this because I am living in Cavite, but Cavite has a lot of things to offer, not just in business, but also in tourism and as well as in agricultural sector.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things to offer. That's why I strongly suggest my clients to invest
Mm-hmm.
here. Now, the zonal value of Cavite, but I am not pretty sure how much it is, but the zonal value here is so much competitive, meaning the value of the properties in Makati and Quezon City are most likely like Cavite if it will progress a lot. Now, the prices of the properties that we are selling here depends upon the development of the area. Development of the area speaks about the price of the property that they are investing. Now, the properties here in Cavite increases by a quarter yearly. So if they increase by 25% per quarter, it makes a lot of sense that the property might increase by double after a year. Why? Because of Cavite, basically the weather here is so much good, so much cool, so much balance. Although there is a part of Cavite that is so much attractive to the tourists, which is the Tagaytay City. And Tagaytay City is a city of luxuries. The properties here are like most likely the properties in Makati, like in Forbes Park, in Dasmariñas Village, because here we have here Tagaytay Highlands. In tourism, there are a lot to offer. We have here also the golf courses, like the Riviera, the Orchard, just like the golf courses in Makati City and Mandaluyong City. And there are a lot of celebrities that came to those golf courses that I've said a while ago. And there are international tournaments also happens there. Would you believe that Tiger Woods also done golfing in Orchard, which is also located in Cavite, and it's a five-star golf course. There are a lot of to offer in Cavite. Cavite province is a very, very big province. it is much bigger than the national capital region.
Interesting. You and your company, give us an overview of your company. What is the service offering you are doing? And what is exactly like when someone wants to approach you and wants to talk a little bit about you and about investments? What is it exactly what you're doing?
My company is Omniland Real Estate Broker Corporation. It is already in the business for about more than a decade already. It opened last October 10, 1998. And my broker is Mr. Nilo F. Omilio. He's been in the business for 3 decades already. And then at the same time, Omniland Real Estate Broker Corporation is under the umbrella of iOS Group of Companies. It is a group of companies related to real estate because our broker, Mr. Nilo Omilio, is not just a broker. He is also a developer. We have a developing company, which is Chenille Builders Corporation. It builds townhouses in the south of Metro Manila, which is Las Piñas, Parañaque, Taguig, and Muntinlupa cities, which is also close to Cavite. Now, we are also offering leasing, residential leasing, commercial leasing, and we have a bunch of buildings to offer for some businesses that would like to offer here, to open businesses here. So meaning to say, we are in the general brokerage, but we focus more on real estate marketing. We just try to venture with those businesses because we would like to widen our markets, cover all the markets that we could offer in real estate. And what is a good thing about us is that we are 23 divisions in the company, and I am one of them, division manager of Omniland. And under me, I have 7 branches with 7 branch managers, and I have a bunch of property consultants equipped and well trained in real estate marketing because I also do real estate training, sales performing training, and as well as I also conduct motivations and public speaking training also. And I also do conduct product knowledge seminar wherein I used to train and seminar them with the products that we have. And we are accredited to hundreds of developers across the sea of the Philippines. And we are not just catering Cavite province. We are catering also other developments and projects outside Cavite. However, we are just focusing about Cavite only because we are residing near and inside Cavite.
Okay, perfect. So you are a full-fledged real estate company offering a lot of services, not only on Cavite and but throughout most parts of the Philippines. Now talking a little bit about real estate prices and also maybe the impact of COVID. Do you think, first question is, do you think COVID has had an impact on the movement of going more to Cavite from Makati City?
Okay, that's a very good question because COVID and Cavite is most likely like related with the topics that we are talking now. Now, I understand that our country, not just my country, but the whole world is suffering about pandemic. And even the Filipinos across the globe are also affected by the crisis provided by the pandemic now. Now, here, believe it or not, and the funny side about it is that when the pandemic came, our sales were not affected by the pandemic, right? Because we're quite wondering why they are not affected by the COVID, right? The best thing about it is that there are a lot of clients offering cash payments because a lot of developers is also offering properties that can be paid in staggered payment or installment. But we're so surprised that we can just imagine how Filipinos save money and a lot of money they have to invest in a property and pay it in cash. Why? Because developers also would like to reach out the clients, understanding the pandemic crisis happening now. That's why there are a lot of developers offered promos, discounts, and special discounts for the clients also. And they didn't go up in just one click. The prices didn't arise so fast, but instead they gave them a lot of promos. And that's the good thing about it, is that they grabbed the opportunity of investing because of the offers the developer gave. And it was a big surprise for us. Although the real estate business came down because of the crisis. Now, as of now, a lot of developers are trying to get back the losses that they have because of the crisis. But still, people in the Philippines or the Filipinos are knowledgeable about the real estate of the country. They know that it cannot go down, but the price could stay. But they think that this is the best time to invest because of the promos, incentives, and even the discounts that developers offers. And would you believe that even though it's pandemic, there are a lot of properties were open for sale. They are still developing a lot of subdivisions here in the Philippines with good promos and incentives.
Okay, that makes total sense, and I wasn't aware of that. That's that's very good. Okay, interesting. So do you also, and especially like, do you also talk a lot with international investors?
Yes, actually, Cavite is also open for international investors because there are a lot of condominiums are now starting to open here. As a matter of fact, when they say condominium, they think of vertical properties where high-rise buildings, mid-rise buildings. Would you believe that Cavite is also offering house and lot packages under condominium certificate of title, wherein house and lot can be offered to the foreigners also. Even though they are not married to Filipinas, they can still invest a property here with a house and lot package because basically foreigners cannot own a lot here. They can own a unit, but they cannot own a lot here. That's why they try to offer properties under condominium certificate of title.
Okay.
And we are open to that because they're also investing here in Cavite, and we have to adjust also with the needs of the foreigners here.
That's very interesting. Concerning the price and compare, can you maybe give us an indication on the real estate price of a comparable apartment in Cavite versus Makati City, so that we have like a price. Let's take a two-bedroom price average in Makati City, and let's take one in Cavite. What is the price in Makati City, and what's the price for Cavite?
That's an interesting topic to talk about. Now, basically, Makati is the financial capital of the Philippines. Now, basically, what you could expect about Makati, it is the expensive properties of Makati. They cannot own a property there with a price of 1 up to 10 million. The price of the properties in Makati is so much expensive and too pricey. All the properties there can be paid in cash only. Now, comparing to Cavite,
and you say 1 to
yes,
10 million. That's then which currency?
that's the prices between 1 to 10 million that I am talking about is about Makati City. Okay, they nowadays
And sorry, but
investors cannot
which currency?
Philippines here.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Thanks. So we talk about like 200,000, 203, and 210.
But I am now talking about the city,
Got
and
it.
I
Okay.
would like to open. Yes. Okay. Now, I would like to discuss first about the prices of Makati. Okay. Now, if I am an investor, I cannot expect to have listing or options with the properties ranging between 1 to 10 million pesos.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Makati is so much expensive, too pricey. If you are not that rich enough, then you cannot go to Makati and invest a property there. As
Mm-hmm.
well as Makati is congested, too much polluted. Now, comparing to Cavite, there are a lot of markets that we can offer. We can offer mass housing, like socialized housing. Socialized housing is a term meaning properties below 1 million or low cost housing. Low cost
Mm-hmm.
housing, affordable houses. Now, then we can offer it to the investors that are working in a rank and file positions. Now, they can do housing loans between the bank or Pag-ibig Housing or Pag-ibig Financing. Pag-ibig is a lending institution by the government.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, they can all, now, Cavite can offer high-end up to mass housing. Now, why I am talking this? Because Cavite is a very, very big place, very, very big province, and they are catering a lot of properties in Cavite. Now, when we are having a conversation with our clients, we try to pre-qualify them how much they can afford, how they want to pay the property, would they like to apply a housing loan for those properties because they don't have enough money to pay it
Mm-hmm.
in cash. Now, we are also asking their preferences. That's why we are very strict with having pre-qualifying process with the clients.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have to adjust with the preferences because of the wide range of properties that we could offer in Cavite. Right? Now, we are also asking them their workplace, if they are working in Alabang, if they are working in Makati, because we would like to try to allocate them to a specific area in Cavite where they're wherein they can have the easiest access of travel towards to their workplace because
Yeah,
that is also important to them.
makes
And we
total
do have a
sense.
lot of adjustments and we filter our listings based on the preferences of our clients
Yeah,
also. And that is the best thing about also with my service.
makes total sense. Do you have one example of a good listing which you would like to describe quickly?
Okay. Since I am living in Cavite and specifically I am residing here in the Anghari area.
Mm-hmm.
The Anghari area is so much to offer because there are two business districts that will soon open here. The Vista City and the Vermosa. Vista City is offered by the Vista Land Lifescapes Incorporated, in which it is owned by former Senator Manuel B. Villar Jr. Then we have also here the Vermosa, which is owned by the one of the real estate tycoons of the Philippines, which is the Ayalas or the Ayala Land Holdings Corporation. Now I am living beside the Ayalas. Now although I am living beside the Ayala Land, I am between those business tycoons, those promising business districts, and they have a lot to offer. Retail, residential, condominiums, and residential lots also.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now,
Considering
here, yes.
considering the price more or less of one of those listings, can you give us can you give us like an example?
Uh, I would like to discuss the properties in Vistaland, in which I am also focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
Vistaland Lifescapes Incorporated has several developers under its umbrella. They have the Bria Lumina, the Lysandra, which offers complete packages, Camellia for the mid class, Crown Asia, and Brittany as a luxury properties. Now, since they have a lot to offer, now I try to focus on with them, and I have been with them for almost a decade, and there are a lot of good transactions I've handled with them. I do good business with them. Now, what is the good thing about them is that they had a lot of offers and promos and incentives to offer for the clients. First and foremost, the flexibility of the payments, the packages, the properties itself. It's a very, very good. And the Anghari Road is very accessible. It is the connecting road which connects three cities: the Bacoor city of Cavite, the Bacoor city, the Muntinlupa, Las Piñas, and a small part of Laguna. See, the access road passes through cities, and it is very, very
Yeah.
accessible. Imagine your subdivision is just along the road of the Anghari. If you were living in Danghari, the conception of the people here in the South, you are a millionaire because they brand Danghari Road as a millionaire's road, a rich people's avenue. Now, before you go to your house, there are a lot of lifestyle centers, malls, and restaurants to offer. It's like living in a condominium unit. All the conveniences are already in the area. The price range of the properties in the Danghari Road is so much affordable. It ranges around from a minimum of 5 million above. However, it sounds pricey, but the terms of payment is so flexible. All you have to do is just pay it monthly, just like paying your monthly rentals. And it can be paid up to around the 15 years, depends upon on the age of the buyer. Now, let's say it is paid up to 15 years. Okay, even though it is documented and contracted that you can pay it up to 15 years. In 15 years, it doesn't mean that you have to wait for 15 years to pay it. You can pay it in advance. You can pay it in the principal amount with the interest. And you can also make some reconstruction of your payments also. That's how friendly that developer that I am saying, which is Camellia, to the Filipino people that wants to invest. They could invest in a good location, just like Danghari, without suffering their budget for investment. That's how they handle and be friendly with the clients. That is why.
That's interesting. Okay, that's I don't know about this concept in Europe, that the developer is at this position that he or she says, okay, it's fine, I don't want to have my money back directly, and so please, you have to go for a bank and you have to go for a financing, and I'm good with getting back the installments or the money in installments. I really like that you gave us a very interesting overview of the Cavite province, and I really appreciate all the information you are sharing with us and you have been sharing with us. I learned a lot today. I learned that it doesn't have to be Manila, it doesn't have to be Quezon, it doesn't have to be Makati. There are also, especially like the new suburbs, and for me it's a new one, it's Cavite province, to really have a look, both in business terms and also in tourism terms. It's a growing region. It's within the Luzon department, and it's definitely worth a visit. Now, people who really got interested in getting more information, how can they contact you?
Most of my clients contact me via social media, either by Facebook, through Viber and WhatsApp. Now, I have also my contact numbers, and all of them are exposed on those social media platforms. They can also contact me via my local number. I have also my own business number, and are all posted online.
Perfect. And obviously people can also contact you via Hallocasa and reach out to us, and can get directly in contact with you. Perfect. Jeszar, do you have any final words to share with the audience?
Final words that I would like to share with them is that make sure they have to talk a lot to the real estate agents that are talking with. They have to tell all the preferences that they want so that their agents would know what to do for their preferences, of
Mhm.
course. Because nowadays there are a lot of clients inquiring for a specific property, but they don't discuss and being honest to their agents their preferences. They have to tell them how much is their budget, what they afford, their preferences, the type of house they want, the needs of the properties. Also, I would like to tell them that they have to be very honest, especially on their statuses, so that on our part we could know what to do in behalf of
Mhm.
them. And honesty is the best policy that I would like to implement in every transaction that we do. Because a single done in the transaction, everything would be canceled. Because
Mhm.
here, all the payments are non-refundable and non-transferable, and it is agreed and signed in a contract.
Mhm.
Just be honest, and they have to be to look for reliable person, because even though they are not licensed or licensed agents or brokers, still they don't know if this person is trustworthy and reliable to talk with, because transactions doesn't start and ends with paying the reservation or paying and signing the contract. Transactions, our services with their transaction lasted up to the point that they have already transferred to their unit.
Mhm.
Because on our part, it is also our core value that you guys, when we reach the highest level of their satisfaction with the services that we offered, I know by their heart that they will also refer us to their friends and relatives that are also interested in buying properties, and they have to be loyal also to the agents that they are talking with also.
Yeah.
And that is the
Perfect.
best tip that I could
I
tell
really
to
like
them.
it. No, I really like it. That's fantastic. Jeszar, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your all your
As well, thank
insights,
you also.
and it's was really great to really learn about all the information and also especially the final words, as in what to take care of, and also that you really have to make sure that you work with someone trustworthy and reliable. Perfect, Jeszar. I wish you a great day. I know it's early in the morning for you, so the day for you starts. The sun is shining in your face. That's great. So I wish you a really great day. I'm going to sleep now, and yeah, we talk soon, huh?
Thank you so much also for your time, and thank you for also considering me to be a guest and be featured in your show. And I wish the best of for your show also. More power to you, and I am looking forward to listen more of the agents that you will feature in the near future also.
Awesome.
And I think I am the fourth Filipino that you've interviewed here in the Philippines, and it's my pride and honor to
Perfect.
have this show with you
I
also.
always like.
And I hope someday in the future you could visit us here in the
Oh,
Philippines.
I have been to the Philippines, so I love the Philippines. I love talking to Filipinos, so I love to have Filipinos in the on the show. It's great. So I totally I'm always pumped to have more and more Filipinos on the show. So always happy. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and we talk
Thank you
soon.
so much.
Okay.
Good night to you.
Bye
Have a
bye.
great day ahead.
Thank you. Bye bye.